Hey there, in this tutorial we're going to work on creating common size financial statements for our project. So I've added a 5th row for myself, or 5th tab, and I need to go back to my standardized statement. I need to grab the income statement and the balance sheet. So on my standardized statement, I'm just going to take all of it. Bring the name of your company. And we're going to copy this over and then just do a little bit of cleaning up. So I use Command C, bring it over, give myself a space, Command V, and hopefully it likes it. Great. Okay, so we need to do a little bit of cleanup. So the thing that I like to do is get rid of everything except for the company's name and the report date and the scale. So just delete a few things. I'm going to delete currency because I know it's US dollars. Everybody's will be. We don't need our audit status, and I don't need to know that it's consolidated because we already know that. Then our next job is to get the same thing for the balance sheet. So I want the report date, but I'm going to get rid of the currency, the audit status, and the fact that it's consolidated. Now I would just like to get all of these columns next to each other, so I'm going to delete this blank space for each of these. And if I hold down the Command key, I can highlight multiple sections without having to pause and then delete again. Alright, Shift cells left. Now we are set up. So now what I want to do is come over here, and I'm going to shrink this column G down just in the interest of being able to fit lots on my sheet, so you can see a lot of it. And then here, instead of it being a standardized annual income statement, it's going to be a standardized common size annual income statement. And my report dates are the same, and the scale is the same as it was for the regular income statement. Alright, and that can all be bold. This can be bold. Great, we'll call that good. Alright, so to make a common size statement, the rules are that everything on both the income statement and the balance sheet are forecasted as a percentage of sales. So if I were to make a little rule thing, or a step-by-step guide, my first step would be copy the standardized statements. The second part would be clean it up and format it. And the third would be to create common size. Everything is calculated as a percentage of sales for that year. I'll explain that more in just a second. Okay. So sales revenue divided by sales revenue, right? That's 100%. Not $1, 100%. I want to do that for every single cell on both of these sheets, right? Cost of goods sold, direct costs divided by sales. I'm doing well today. Sales revenue was 54%, right? Meaning that every dollar in sales, 54% of that went to pay for the cost of materials and direct labor, right? Well, we don't have to do that, right? Thank goodness. The easier way to do it is to say that we want a given value, we'll call it sales revenue, and we want it to be divided by total revenue, but I want to just be able to drag it across. So I need to use Command T until I am $ in front of the row and let the column vary. And I check that by just dragging it across and then double clicking in a cell and making sure that it has the right formula. So, and that's not the right formula because I started in the wrong cell. I'm not going to record the video over for that. Normally I would, but in the interest of time, I'm not. All right, there's my script, and I caught myself. Double click in a cell. 2012 should reference 2012. 2010 should reference 2010. Why it's my issue? Because I have a 2009. Just pretend that I didn't screw up. All right, now I can take this whole thing and I can drag it all the way down. And all I'll be left with is the need to clear empty cells. So, for instance, here, empty cells, and if it has all value key, it's empty cells. I'm going to clear that out. I'll come down here, and if there's anything besides the word 0, I'll clear it out. But instead of just hitting clear, I'm going to come in and type 0 into those cells so that I can still average them. So if it says value, put a 0 in the cell. My last step is going to be to remove rows that are completely unnecessary. Soap Hershey's, for instance, has no other operating expense category, has no extraordinary items, no accounting changes, no preference dividends or similar in any of those years. Delete. Also, after net income to common shares or net income in general, I'm not going to need to look at any of it. So I am going to hide everything except for net income and, oh, should I keep shares outstanding? No, let's hide it. If I need it, I can get it later. So this is our income statement. This is going to look a lot more manageable because each one of these categories gets a value driver and each one is going to get forecasted. If we go down to the balance sheet, I don't think I get that many more freebies. Foreign current transactions. And that looks like that's about it. All right. This is my balance sheet, and I'm going to have to forecast every one of those. Oh, other current liabilities. Great, and we'll call it good. Now, what you're going to do is gonna get some funny height columns here, but that's just gonna be okay. And then the fourth step is delete empty rows or empty columns like I just did. And then the last step is to calculate the averages of each column. Calculate the common size, calculate the average common size value for each item. And in many cases, this is going to be the value driver that we use when forecasting and creating our pro forma balance sheet and income statement. We might consolidate that balance sheet a little bit more, but we'll leave that for another video. Good one, Jamie. You probably caught that. What is she doing? There we go. Those are our averages. Okay, a sloppier video than most, but you got the point. We copied the standardized income statement and balance sheets from our earlier pages. Then we did a little cleanup in format so that we had a less unruly piece of data to look at. Then we created the common size statement with everything calculated as a percentage of sales. We deleted empty columns. We calculated the average common size value for each item and made our own column. And then I'm just going to go back because I didn't do this one little piece. I did it for the income statement and the income statement. And now it's done for the balance sheet. And I hope that all makes perfect sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, thanks a lot. Happy calculating.